I'm a real amateur at this, so bear with me. And the noise you may hear in the background is my husband, Grandpa Dennis, working on our old house. We live in a very old house in Western New York, in a small town, Canandaigua, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, on 110 acres of beautiful countryside. And it's fall, and it's very beautiful here now. I uploaded yesterday my initial video, and I promise I'll get better at this. Well, I promise I'll try. Which is why we're doing it this way today instead of this way, which was silly. And it just shows you how little I know about doing YouTube videos anymore. Some thoughts. Again, this is my conversation with Siren, conversation to Siren, because it's not a two-sided conversation. That's my puppy back there, by the way, Siren. That's little Sophie. Sophie is 10 years old, and she's a Shih Tzu, and she's very, very dedicated to Grandma. She goes everywhere I go. Sometimes that's a problem. In the bathroom, kind of, yeah. She likes to be wherever I am, and she is a wonderful dog to take on a trip. We've taken her back and forth to Georgia, and she travels in the back seat, quiet as a lamb, just like she is now. As long as she can see me and or Grandpa, she's happy. And right now, apparently, since she can see me, even though she can't figure out what the dickens I'm doing, she's happy. Plus, she just got some turkey for lunch, so that probably didn't hurt either. So she's very content. And she just got 2 treats, too. I wanted to clarify something I said well, I'll be clarifying things for the whole time I do this, I think. But one of the things I made it sound like Jared never thought about anything to do with how he wanted, when he realized, and again, I don't think he really acknowledged he was dying, but he knew that if there was going to be anybody that could reach out to Siren, it would be me. And so even though he didn't want to talk about his finances or his business and help me coordinate so I knew what to do with what and where, he did tell me that he had contacted his employer and had set it up so that the stock would automatically go to Siren, that it was going to be in her name, and his understanding, it was all taken care of, that she was the beneficiary and that there would be no glitch with that. Well, after he passed away, we found out that apparently some page didn't get signed, or some T didn't get crossed, or I dotted, and it somehow, the paperwork didn't get to the right place, the right person. I don't know, sorry about this. And so the designation for Siren to be the beneficiary wasn't there. And since there was no designation of a beneficiary, that's why we ended up in this guardian of asset mess. Because it was supposed to be for her. It was in, to his knowledge, and again, he was very, very sick. He was in and out of, throwing up constantly, and it's one of those details that he believed was taken care of that wasn't done. Whatever, and I don't know what wasn't done. I just know that when the stock, I did email the company, and they basically said when we get some paperwork as to what the disposition of his assets or this stock, we'll proceed. And that's what I was trying to do. And now, like I say, I believe that's what Jessica. Again, I believe I'm talking to Siren. My intention of this is to talk to Siren, so I'm going to start talking to you, Siren. So that's what he believed, and that's what happened. Was somehow a mistake. But I believe your mom now has the power to take care of that. He didn't have a car. He had an apartment. He didn't have a house. He owned no real estate. Some of his things went in storage. Some of his things probably got left at the apartment. I took, there's a stained glass window that I tried to get in this picture, and because of the bright sunshine today, the glare was prohibitive. But I'll get you a picture of this. And this was something I made for him years ago, and I did get that from his apartment, and I brought it home with me when I realized I wasn't going to be going back to New York City. I was not in charge of breaking down his apartment. He had a friend do that, and that friend has some of his personal things in storage. Things like his clothes, books, I don't know, his phone and his iPad, or if he had an iPad, whatever he had for work, it would be in storage. And to my knowledge, it's in secure storage, and the friend that put it in storage, the friend that was there to put everything away, to break down his things and move it out of the apartment, has told me that whenever I'm ready, we can go through his things. I don't anticipate finding, there'll be sentimental value, and there will be things probably that will just tear me up when I see them. But it's going to be personal items, and I do intend to save some personal items. I don't intend to save his clothes. I may make something out of some old shirts of his. I don't know. This is all very new. You can't see it, but I'm looking directly at another window in this room. There are 4 in this room. There's 2 here and 2 there. And I'm on the windowsill over there is an urn that I have, that I will be putting Jared's ashes in. At this point, they're here in the room with me, and I will be doing that down the way. And there'll be more about those things like that. I can't make videos as long as the one that I made yesterday. I'm going to try to shoot for 10 minutes, so we'll keep this down to around 10 minutes. And so there'll be more, and they're only directed at Siren, and this is not to do anything other than to establish some connection. I don't know that I'll ever actually have the privilege and the pleasure of actually being with in the room and hugging and getting to know Siren, but I felt it important that she hear that the people that she doesn't know would love to know her, and that's not going to happen right now. So I'm doing the best I can, and we'll see how it goes. I intend to make some of these more lighthearted and fun, and when I think of something cute and interesting, I'll upload that, and I'll talk more about family. My mother, who passed away in 2001, Jared's grandma, and your great-grandma, Marian Anderson, was a wonderful woman, and she would have loved to know you. My mother was a very peaceful soul. My mother was a very sweet, forgiving, loving woman, and pretty much she was Jared's only grandma, because the Spiegel grandma, his father's mother, wasn't in his life much. She lived in the same town. We lost close connection, probably because I married someone different than her son. After Jared's dad died, I married, a few years later, I married Dennis. So, anyway, so that grandma, he didn't know very well. That was Grandma Phyllis. And but Grandma Anderson, Jared knew Grandma Anderson, and Grandma. One of Jared's favorite things that I remember from when he was little is my mother used to make an apple cake. And she used to make it in a bundt pan, and she'd make apple cake, and Jared liked Grandma's apple cake, and I haven't made it. I probably have a recipe for it because I have her recipe book, but I haven't looked for it. I probably should have tried to make it for him at the end. He passed very quickly. 8 months is hard and I'll have more, I'll drag that all out and try to not be too, but anyway, I know you're hearing crazy noises in the background, and I'll try not to make every video with weird noises in the background, and I'll try to get the picture, the stained glass, because I make stained glass, and I do jewelry, and I paint a little, not much. And right now I'm doing paper crafts, and I'll show you some paper crafts. Maybe I'll make something, and I'll show you something that I've made. And right now it's 11 minutes, so I'm going to cut this short because apparently it takes forever to load these things. So I'll get better. We'll do more. They'll be more fun. And so check back. This is just number 2 in, could be dozens, hundreds, I don't know, videos for Siren.